Ah, sit here, my dear. Come closer to the warm lamp. Yes, right here beside me. The night is gentle tonight, isn't it? The rain is falling in that slow, familiar way, like an old friend tapping at the window to say, "I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere." And the world outside is finally quiet enough for us to speak softly, just the two of us. You know, nights like this always bring back memories. Memories that stretch out like long winding roads, the kind you can walk for hours without ever reaching the end, because the journey itself is the comfort. Come, rest your head a little. You must be tired. You've carried quite a lot today, haven't you? I can see it in your shoulders, the way they sink yet still hold things up, as if they're afraid to let anything fall. But here, in this room, you don't have to hold anything alone. The lamp glows softly tonight. It reminds me of the old lanterns we used to use at the cottage, flickering gently in the corner as the wind brushed past the walls. Those were slow nights too, nights when the world felt small and safe and time moved like honey. Ah, yes, you would have loved that old cottage. Wooden floors that creaked like friendly footsteps, a little fireplace that hummed even when it wasn't lit, and windows that welcomed the rain as if every drop carried a tiny story. But look at you now, here in this warm room, with the pattering rain painting the window in long silver strokes. You're living your own tiny stories, too. You know, when I was your age, I didn't understand nights like this. I rushed through them, thinking rest was something you earn only after everything is perfect. But life taught me otherwise. Rest is not a reward. Rest is a companion. It walks with you, quietly, patiently, waiting for the moment you decide to let yourself be held by it. Tonight, my dear, let me hold a little of your world for you, just for a while. Let me speak soft words into the spaces your heart is too tired to fill at the moment. The rain outside, listen to it carefully now. Each drop falls as if it traveled a long way just to meet this window, just to become part of your night. And the wind, that old wanderer, it moves past slowly, like an elder, sighing in relief after a long day. It brushes the rooftop in steady strokes, as if tucking you in with weathered hands. You see, nights like this are not empty. They are full of whispers, full of gentle reminders that not everything needs your strength all the time. You can let go now, just a little, just enough to soften. The chair beneath you, the blanket around your shoulders, the room embracing you with its warm, dim glow, they're all here to tell you that you are safe to slow down. Do you remember the first time I told you a story during a rainy night like this? You were small, so small your feet didn't touch the floor yet. You held on to my sleeve as if the whole world would drift away without me. But look at you now, growing, carrying, surviving days larger than you ever imagined. Yet here you are, still reaching for a story when the rain begins to fall. And here I am, still ready to give you one. There is a story I haven't told you yet, a story from long, long ago, about a night much like this one, a night when the sky dimmed early and the earth breathed slowly beneath the weight of the clouds. I was younger then, but not too young, old enough to feel the ache of things unspoken, young enough to still believe that every quiet night carried a little magic. That evening I sat by a window too, just like you are now. The rain tapped gently, a rhythm soft enough to loosen a restless heart. And I felt something, a pull, a whisper, as if the night wanted to tell me something important. It wasn't a loud message, no. Life rarely speaks loudly. Instead, it leaves small signs. A warm cup cooling in your hands, a breeze brushing your cheek, a memory resurfacing with no reason at all. And on that night, the sign came as a soft knock on the door. A neighbor had come, seeking nothing but company, a place to sit, to breathe, to exist without being asked to explain anything. We didn't talk much. We simply shared the rain. And sometimes that is all a person needs. A presence, a voice, a gentle story. And now, my dear, tonight that presence is yours. And this voice, this old, tired voice, is here for you. You don't have to respond. Just listen. Let the words move slowly, like lanterns floating on a quiet river. Let your thoughts soften. Let your breathing deepen. Let your heart feel held. This night belongs to you, and I am here, right here. Now then, my dear, since the night is generous and your eyes are beginning to soften, let the story deepen along with the rain. You see, after that quiet knock on my door long ago, the neighbor stepped inside just as gently as the rain itself. He didn't speak at first, and truth be told, he didn't need to. He simply stood there, carrying the kind of heaviness that doesn't make noise but fills a room anyway, the kind that sits behind the eyes and makes a person forget how long they've been holding their breath. So I motioned him toward the chair by the window, the very same window where I used to sit as a boy, watching storms pass like wandering giants in the sky. And he lowered himself onto that chair as if gravity suddenly remembered him. For a while we said nothing. We listened. We let the rain speak for us. You know, child, sometimes silence between two people can be kinder than any attempt at comfort. Silence, when shared, becomes a blanket, a place where things soften instead of breaking. And when he finally lifted his gaze, his eyes were the kind that held stories no one had ever asked to hear, not even he himself. He told me, in a voice as fragile as the glow of a candle's last moments, that life had been pulling him apart, piece by piece, quietly. He said he didn't know what he was supposed to feel anymore, that the days all blurred together, and the nights stretched long and lonely, like old roads missing their lanterns. He spoke slowly, as if each word he shared loosened a knot tied long ago. And I simply listened, with no answers, with no corrections, with nothing but presence. Presence. That is something the world forgets to give. People are so eager to fix, to rush, to fill every pause. But a pause, my dear, is often where healing begins. I offered him tea, warm and simple, with steam rising in soft curls like gentle thoughts escaping into the night. He held the cup in both hands, as if warmth was something he hadn't touched in years. And as we sat there, the rain softened, not stopping, just changing its shape. That is what pain often does. It changes shape. It rarely disappears all at once. Sometimes it drifts, sometimes it settles. Sometimes it melts into a quiet ache that asks for nothing but acknowledgement. After a long silence, he said something I have never forgotten. He said, "It feels like the world kept going, and I didn't." And I felt a heaviness in those words, not dramatic, not loud, just honest. Pain spoken softly is often the truest kind. So I told him, in the same soft voice I'm speaking to you with now, that sometimes falling behind simply means you moved at the pace your heart needed, and that is nothing to be ashamed of. The world spins fast, too fast sometimes, but rest, true rest, moves slowly, gently, like a grandfather's hand brushing dust from an old book. He looked at me then, really looked, as if checking whether I meant every word. And when he saw that I did, his eyes softened, just a little, like a curtain drawn for the night. We ended up sitting for hours, letting the rain write its silver lines across the window, letting the silence stitch our breaths together, letting the night soothe the spaces he thought would remain lonely forever. And when he finally rose to leave, he whispered, "Thank you for letting me be small for a while." My dear, there is a quiet bravery in allowing yourself to be small when the world insists on making you big. That is why I tell you these things, why I let my stories stretch longer than the hours. Because somewhere inside you, something tired is asking to be held gently. Tonight I want you to understand this. You do not always have to be strong. You do not always have to be certain. You do not always have to shine. Some nights are meant for nothing more than letting the rain fall and letting yourself exist without demand. So rest here with me, as the old stories settle around us like soft blankets pulled from cedar chests. Let the rain keep speaking. Let my voice stay steady. Let the world outside grow distant. You are safe in this room. You are safe in this moment. And you are safe with me. Now, my dear, since your eyes are getting heavier and the rain outside is settled into that deep, steady pattern that only midnight storms seem to know, let me tell you more. You know, there was a time, long before your tiny hands ever held mine, when I too walked through nights that felt impossibly large. Nights where the world seemed to be speaking in languages I had not yet learned to understand. I was younger then, still carrying the restless fire of youth, the kind of fire that burns bright but flickers dangerously when the winds of life blow too suddenly. There were evenings when I felt lost in my own thoughts, wandering from one worry to another as if anxieties were stepping stones across a river I was too afraid to cross. On one such night, with rain very much like the one we hear now, I remember sitting by a window almost identical to this one, a simple pane of glass framed by wood softened by time, and I felt the world pressing onto me with a weight I did not know how to carry. I had dreams, you see, big ones, dreams so wide they scared me, and I had fears, even bigger than the dreams, fears that whispered questions I didn't know how to answer. And in the middle of that restless night, my own grandfather, your great-great-grandfather, walked into the room with the slow, patient steps of a man who had learned to live gently after a long, difficult life. He sat beside me without saying a word, just as you sit beside me now, and simply listened to the sound of the rain. After a long while, he spoke in a voice soft enough that the storm had to quiet itself just to hear him. He said, Life will ask you to run, but nights like this will remind you that you were not made only for running. And oh, how true those words became. You see, my dear, back then I believed that strength meant movement, meant pushing, climbing, proving. But age and heartbreak and small victories and quiet nights like this one all taught me that strength sometimes means being still enough to hear your own heartbeat without flinching. I want you to understand that, not because you are weak, but because you are human. You carry so much more than you speak out loud. And there will be nights, many nights, where you will feel the weight of the world pressing onto your shoulders even when nothing has gone wrong. On those nights, promise me one thing. Promise me you will slow down. Promise me you will sit somewhere quiet, somewhere warm, somewhere soft, and let the world breathe for you just for a little while. Let the rain do the talking. Let the air carry your worries away. Let silence take your hand. You are not meant to bear every burden at once. You are not meant to understand everything in the moment it happens. Life unfolds slowly, like pages turning in a book written by hands older than our own. And if ever you feel like you have fallen behind, remember this. Even I, with all my years, all my stories, all my wrinkles and mistakes and quiet triumphs, I too have stumbled. There were times I lost my way, times I doubted my worth, times I thought the night would swallow me whole before morning could find me. But morning always found me, always. Sometimes late, sometimes gently, but always. And it will find you too. You do not have to chase it. You do not have to run toward the sunrise with trembling hands. Sometimes the sun waits for you. Sometimes it sits just beyond the horizon until your heart is ready. It is patient. Life is patient. And you, my dear, must learn to be patient with yourself. Come closer now. Rest your head a little more. Let the blanket fall softly around your shoulders. Let the rhythm of the rain lull your thoughts into something gentle. You carry the blood of storytellers, gentle hearts, quiet warriors, and people who learn to survive not through hardness, but through tenderness. Yes, tenderness. The world may convince you that softness is a weakness, but it is not. Softness is where strength is born. Softness is how you heal. Softness is how you love and how you let yourself be loved. So breathe slowly now. Let the air fill you without effort. Let the night fold around you like a warm coat. The rain outside is steady. The room around us is still. My voice is here. Your heartbeat is calm. Nothing is required of you now except to rest. And as you rest, I will tell you more. A story within a story, a night within a night, all held gently in the palms of time. Now then, as the night folds into its quietest hour, and as the rain begins to soften into nothing more than a memory on the window pane, let me share the last part of this old wandering story. You see, my dear, after that long night, the night with my grandfather, the night with the rain, the night where silence was the only truth either of us needed, I learned something I wouldn't truly understand until my hair had gone gray and the years had settled themselves gently onto my shoulders. I learned that people, all people, carry invisible weights, and most of them never ask for help, not because they don't need it, but because they don't know how to place their heavy things into someone else's hands without feeling like a burden. And so they suffer quietly, like houses that creak in the wind but refuse to fall. But on nights like this one, with the rain whispering along the roof and the world dimmed into a soft blur of silver and shadow, it becomes easier, just a little, to set something down. That is why I'm here with you now. Not to solve you, not to fix you, just to sit beside you while your heart loosens the knots it no longer needs to keep. You do not have to tell me every worry. You do not have to explain your tiredness. I can hear it in the way your breaths slow, in the way your hands relax, in the way your eyes drift somewhere softer than the place you were at earlier today. You remind me of myself, not in the way you look, but in the way your spirit tries so hard to stay gentle in a world that does not always reward gentleness. I've lived long enough to see storms tear people apart, and I've lived long enough to see soft rain knit them back together. And you, my dear, you are rain, not storm, not thunder, rain. You heal quietly, you move gently, you soften the earth wherever you pass. Never believe for a moment that such softness is anything less than strength. Now, come closer, just a little more. Let your head rest. Let the blanket tuck around your shoulders like the arms of someone who has missed you for a very long time. The night outside is deep now. The world has grown still. Even the wind has lowered its voice to a hushed whisper, as if it understands that someone in this room is finally letting their guard down. And oh, how proud I am of you for allowing yourself this moment. You think I don't notice, but I do. The quiet courage it takes to simply breathe, to simply be, without the noise of expectations pulling at your sleeves. You have walked through so many days with so many thoughts and so many unspoken feelings that it's a wonder your heart still finds room to soften. And yet, here you are, softening. There is a beautiful resilience in that. Let me tell you something else my grandfather told me on that long ago rainy night. He said, "Every person walks with two lanterns, one for lighting the world around them, and one for lighting the world within. Most people forget the second. And I don't want you to forget it. You deserve to be illuminated, not just useful. You deserve to be comforted, not just needed. You deserve to be held, not just strong. Let tonight be the lantern that lights the world inside you. Let my voice be the soft flame, steady and warm, guiding you through the inner rooms of your heart. Walk slowly there. There is no rush. Every step is a homecoming. Now listen to the faint tapping of the last raindrops as they say their goodbyes. Even the sky knows when it is time to rest. And so must you. Lay your head down fully now. Let the pillow cradle it. Let your breath sink deeper, not forced, not controlled, just naturally drifting toward the soft edge of sleep. You are safe, my dear, safer than you know. The night is gentle around you. My voice is steady beside you. Your heart is finally quiet. And as you slide into sleep, let these last words follow you like a warm hand holding yours in the dark. You have done enough. You have tried enough. You have fought enough. And now you may rest. I am here. The night is here. The rain has blessed the window one last time. Close your eyes and let the world become soft. Good night, my dear. Sleep deeply. Sleep safely. Sleep in peace.